What's good, Flex fam? We got your Flex team up here talking about week 2, and man, all things strength. Excited. I mean, look at the motivation up in here. It's hard to breathe in here. There's so much. You can cut it with a butter knife. Speaking of buttery, this new swagger is just crazy, guys. It's crazy. Come check it out. Come see, your team up at the front desk and get your Flex gear so you're not getting picked on for being swaggerless when you walk around the streets. This week highlighted 2 of our phantasmal athletes. We've got Hunter and we've got Matt, and these guys not only are man dimes and they carry those badges around with them every day, but they're also really great people. So this week's workout was all about strength. We decided to go 3 reps and working not necessarily to your 3-rep max, but a 3-rep heavy. We used the bench press, the back squat, and the deadlift. We also made body weight relative. So we took our athlete's body weight. You had to come in, hop on the scale, you totaled up your 3 weights, and then you divided that by your body weight. And that gave you your relative score. We're gonna dive in. Before we do that, do you guys have anything that you'd like to put in this?
Yeah, I'll start with saying, if I'm correct, I believe Cam and Brandon took the top score Wednesday with like an 11.9. Obviously relative to the body mass. It's important that we calculate according to body mass, because Cam, who's a tall, 5'8", 5'9", or whatever, tall guy.
I claim 6 foot.
His body mass is going to be different than mine, whereas I'm a little taller, got a little more weight to me, and same with Maggie and Casey and Brandon. So everybody's kind of different, that's why we do it like this, because if I can lift 2 times my body weight, that might be different than someone else lifting 2 times their body weight.
And it was great, again, putting the score together. Brandon came in at 97 pounds and lifted a lot of weight. And we were cutting weight, bro. We walked, bro. We just took a week, had no hydration, just to come in and get a good score. That's a lot.
In the bottles.
You know what I mean?
But no, you did cut weight.
Yeah, I fasted for 48 hours. I feel good about it. I know on Sunday like evening, I was like 166 and I was 161.
Yeah.
So
talk about strategy. Talk about strategy. So let's dive into it and see what we're working with here. Okay, cool. So first off, I want to pause it right here. The face that Matt is bringing to this session is the kind of look that you gotta have to be a high-level athlete. Man, I'll talk about this 6 a.m. group. There's a lot of shout and love being heard around. And on PR day, if you ain't getting lit and live, man, what are you doing with yourself?
I'll tear in the background hitting the ATG. If you don't know what that is,
yeah, it's like Google it. Yeah, man. And look, let's address this. Let's address this right here. If we talk about squatting, in depth, and I think again these guys are doing a good job. Our standard for this lift was parallel, and I'm gonna go ahead and premise this with saying that based off of individual, body length and girth and anthropometrics, as well as anatomy, people should lift differently. We all understand that, but also without a standard, it's hard to have any sort of comparison. For example, my massive 5'8" frame. I have the right body disposition to squat to full depth. I also want to clean and jerk and snatch. If you're going to do those at some point in the lift, you might want to get full depth. But again, if I've got LeBron James in the room, maybe it's not necessary for LeBron James to hit that, ATG, booty to the floor squat.
I feel like we need to go pull up a YouTube video.
Can we throw LeBron James squat on this video?
Yeah.
I think, I think that, yes, anti-version. I said that wrong. It's retro and anti-version to speak on that. That's aggressive the way he's finishing the squat too. It's provocative almost.
2000s music video.
But I do want to say this. Let's pause right here. If I'm looking at this athlete, and let's say I have a really tall athlete, and let's talk about the deadlift. Does this athlete in the sport of basketball, does King James need to have a full depth squat? I could argue no. He's going to train the tissue. He's going to train the appropriate motor units and things like that. Maybe never going to that full depth.
I'm gonna say he does a good job keeping his chest tall.
He does.
He's not leaning forward. It doesn't look like he's about to just like take a dip.
No, he does, man. You know, and I would say right there, if you look at it, look at the length. We talk about this, and I literally watched something on this, but look at the length, you know, of where his femur is and where his hip's at, and man, it's a little longer than mine. And then look at the length of the length again of the tib and the fib under that. So his levers, man, on that frame are just so much different that it probably would be that same conversation we talk about in sport. Like, sometimes is it worth all the time it takes to go into really detailed snatch progressions on that when we need a kid to hit a fast 40-yard dash or have a good vertical or a good jump shot? Maybe not. Now here we go on the bench press. Who don't like a good bench press?
Here's something I noticed with Hunter here. All love Hunter, if you see this, by the way. But in his feet, we talk about the points of contact. One thing you see here is that his feet are kind of hovering over the ground, so he doesn't really have that contact. You can see it in his left leg there. He also just hit the bar, so that's gonna suck a little bit.
It's gonna affect that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the deadlift is another one too. Anytime we're pulling a load from the floor, you know, unless it's the challenge here is, again, you know, trying to stay vertical and not seeing that rounding of the spine. And we can see here a little bit happen on Hunt, and as things tend to get heavier. Well, let's address that too. With the deadlift, a lot of times we're going to see this, you know, this over protraction of the spine because we're trying to move the bar fast initially. You got to think about it, you know, and that's, I think, is a bit of the mind screw here, is that you want to almost start static and become dynamic throughout the lift. But if you start with a really jerky motion, it's going to be that much harder to keep that spine intact and use that core. So think about pulling from the floor with consistency and then get fast. It's the same way in the clean and snatch as well.
I was just going to say, I think strategy played a lot with this, of how many sets you were going to hit and the increment of the weight you went up by. Played an important factor of not getting too tired too fast, and also not taking too big of jumps and not being able to hit the next set.
Yes, I think overall, man, really good job from a couple of studs and a lot of good things. And you know, we saw a lot of really good PRs go down, you know, with this workout, which is fun. And man, it's fun to lift by yourself. It's even that much more fun to lift when you have a buddy doing it with you, and in an environment where the motivation's up and you've got, you know, the team supporting you to get it in. So Flex One Challenge 2, come get some. 11.9 strength total. You guys can't handle it. What you want? Next week's skills coming. Buckle your seatbelts.